Hello again, good evening, and welcome to the second segment of business. Now, the Bank of Ghana has forwarded certain switch keys to relevant agencies for required action. The Bank of Ghana has advanced the certain switch keys, which has led to the dismissal of one of its staff to the relevant government agency for the required action to be taken. This is what we've picked up from sources close to the central bank. George Rafi has been following up on this development. He's joined me right here in the studio for some more. George, a quick background to this.
So you know that there have been issues about how this whole September contract was brought in, bringing in a firm to actually oversee this interoperability contract. That they thought that Gibbs was there and Gibbs could have done this to them. That caused the Bank of Ghana to do some investigations into this whole matter. And it looks like while this case is going on, they've actually realized that there was some error of judgment or maybe exchange of monies with respect to their official at the Bank of Ghana that supervised over this thing. So that is why we've gotten here, and then this thing has come to this far.
So what exactly has been sent to you?
Well, these are investigations that were done by the Bank of Ghana with respect to what has happened right now. And they believe that indeed this individual or that individual has a case to answer. So these are forensic reports with respect to transactions that transpired at the Bank of Ghana. And they believe that any prosecutorial agency can take these documents and act on them. So Yoko, what do you call the Attorney General's Department, the Secret Service, or security agencies, sorry, to work on these things. And they believe that these documents have enough evidence to support any legal action that can be taken against this individual at the Bank of Ghana.
Now, since this whole thing started from the previous administration, have you had or have we had any of
them you know,
responding?
Engaging some of them, you know, if you want to look at it in a certain way, you're trying to kind of accuse the former governors. And some of them, sources close to these governors have argued that, yes, of course, this was a staff that just breached, laid down procedures. So they don't see why it should be linked to them in any way. Some of the sources close, some of these governors or the former governors in the former administration have argued that there were instances where they also cited staff for some wrongdoing, and then they didn't try to link it to the former governors who worked there before they came in. So they find it as quite surprising that if a staff has breached some laid down rules, indirectly is being linked to the governors at the helm of administration at that particular time.
So what should we be expecting?
Well, if this, what we are picking up about the report being sent to these agencies, it looks like it won't end there with this person just being asked to step aside. Those other government agencies are going to pick it up. What, did he act alone? Who were the other people that helped him to do this? And it appears that they would also be brought in for the needed action to be taken.
Many thanks for that update, so George Rafi, bringing us up to speed with the certain switch case, the development so far. Let's move on to other stories. Government has been encouraged to adopt the concept of building and using innovation hubs in the different sectors of the economy as a means to accelerate innovation in the tertiary institutions. The use of these innovation hubs, according to scholars and social innovator Maclean Saba, will cause a paradigm shift that will enable students to design and generate practical solutions together with professionals to develop radical new ideas to curtail youth unemployment. Maclean Saba was speaking to Ishra Ado in a new episode of Executive Lounge, which airs this weekend. Let's have excerpts now.
We need innovation hubs, an ecosystem that actually fosters or enhances young people's predilection to entrepreneurship. And I think it has already begun with Will Senyo setting up the Impact Hub, which serves as a place that a lot of young people convene. So you're able to draw from the energies of many other people that share, that are in your shoes, right? So if we had those on university campuses like Harvard does, I think for a very long time, Harvard had a problem of having people, we lost Bill Gates, we lost Mark Zuckerberg. And so I think they sat down and thought about the fact that, look, if we're losing many of our students because they have ideas and they don't have people who can nurture them, who can take them, handhold them, teach them how to go to market, the principles of business, then that's an alumni resource that, you know, over the long pull, we're losing, because those can come back and provide us resources. So we need innovation hubs, I would say, planted within university systems as well. University of Ghana, UDS, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, so that aside from your quintessential sociology and political science and classics that you're taking, you're also taking a mandatory, I would say, innovation and entrepreneurship education class. You might not end up being an entrepreneur, but you understand sort of the rudiments of how to run a business, so that in the event that something came up, you'll be
ready for it.
Right. Or even if you don't, I know that there's been a lot of complaints about the degree to which young people have been trained to have the communication and leadership skills to do that the job market actually requires. And I think a rigorous program of the sort, even if you don't go to market, you're not able to take your ideas from inception to market, you would have acquired in many ways communication, leadership, and ability to appreciate ambiguity and failure and all of that. Because I think we're very quick to celebrate, grand success. But beyond that, or at the back office, I would like to call it, is a lot of work. And so that work ethic and that sort of preponderance to allowing people to fail needs to be drummed home, so that people aren't excessively reliant on the fact that I only need to be successful,
So you can watch the full episode of The Best Minds on the Executive Lounge this Saturday at 6 p.m. on Joy News and on Multi TV on Channel 421 on DSTV, with a repeat broadcast on Sundays at 9:30 p.m. Now, for Accra to become the cleanest city in Africa, city authorities would have to process most of biodegradables it generates using waste-to-energy facilities and recycle more of the inorganic waste, thereby reducing the waste that eventually gets landfilled. As part of the Joy Clean Ghana campaign, the following report examines the contribution of plastic waste to the waste menace in the country and explores the way forward.
Deepening the advocacy for clean communities, Joy News has launched the Clean Ghana campaign to rally citizens to their civic responsibilities. Rounds by the news team and sanitation officials has shown that the plastic waste menace is indeed a nuisance to many. During a visit to Kwame Nkrumah's circle, one resident could not hide his frustration over the issue and blamed numerous hawkers for the problem.
I have warned them several times against littering, but they still do it. I even bought them some brooms to use to tidy the place, but all to no avail.
The blame game might not be the solution to the world's $2.5 trillion danger. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, about 2.58 million metric tons of raw plastics are imported into Ghana annually, of which 73% effectively ends up as waste, while only 19% is reused. Perhaps this could be the solution.
Okay, so this is about plastic. It functions and works like a plastic, but it's not a plastic per se. And it's made from cassava starch. This is not a normal plastic we see on the market. This one, when we put it in water, it can dissolve. And that is
Agroplast is a group of 4 young men who have a vision to fight plastic waste. How? By using organically derived components such as starch to create biodegradable plastic. George Nate explains that their passion to fight plastic waste led to the creation of the biodegradable plastic.
We got a privilege at Cosmos Innovation Center when they took us on a research tour on how we can use innovative ways to help solve agricultural problems. And so when we went to some of the places, we realized that though we consume cassava a lot, but most of them also get spoiled before even they bring to the market. So fortunately for us, one of our colleagues has done a research in school about using cassava for plastics. So we thought of, why not we use this cassava that is going waste to make plastics, which will solve all that we are seeing here.
Statistics on how much the nation spends on waste management is unknown. However, Mayor of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Mohammed J. Soa, gives an idea.
It will be difficult for me to mention a figure for now, but it's a lot of money, to be honest with you. Only in the central business district. I spent close to 5,000 Ghana cedis a day on fuel. That's for fuel alone, not for tools, not for compensation for workers and all these things. So just for fuel.
Mr. Ajeso agrees on the innovation of Agroplast. He also reveals that government plans to enforce a waste segregation plan to help improve recycling.
People are unable to buy the 240-liter bins and place it. So why won't I provide the biodegradable bags? which is like a polythene bag that we use. But the polythene bag that we use will take more than 400 years before it would decompose or degrade in the landfill. So we're looking at the use of the biodegradable bags.
The journey towards sustainable waste management may be a long one, but what the country needs now are gigantic leaps and not small steps. For Joy Business, Karen Dudu.
And that's all we have for you in tonight's business. Many thanks for your company. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji Riafe. For more business news, log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Have a great week.